Ask Yuri. You've got a health and fitness question? I've got an answer. All right, welcome to another Ask Yuri episode. Today we are talking with Ignacio, who asked a question on my Facebook page. Hey Yuri, I've been watching your vids and you have such great tips. Thank you. However, I'd like to ask you if you can tell us a few tips on ectomorphs and caloric intake. Because I've been taking green smoothies for breakfast a few months ago, and at first I feel great, but when I try to make usual training, I feel tired and lightheaded because besides I have a terrible itch in my whole body in company of huge hunger. I'd appreciate a response when you have a little bit of free time. Greetings from Mexico. All right, so great question. Basically he's wondering about ectomorphs. So I would be an ectomorph, somebody who's got a kind of a slight thin frame, finds it very tough to put on muscle or put on a lot of weight. And I guess he's in the same boat. So he's talking about green smoothies, how he would have them in the morning, I guess, and then didn't have enough energy really for his workouts and started getting a terrible itch and a lot of hunger. Okay, so the first things that come to mind here are, I'm assuming he's a younger guy. Okay, so generally if you're younger, your caloric intake is going to be needing to be higher because you're growing and consuming and your body needs all that. So maybe a green smoothie, I don't know what you're putting in it necessarily, but you probably want to pack a little bit more caloric value in there. So you may want to look at things that are, you know, for me personally, a green smoothie is awesome. I feel great. My workouts don't really get compromised unless if I'm working out in a fasted state, sure, my energy is going to be slightly depleted. However, if my green smoothies, which contain, for instance, a banana, an apple, pear, leafy greens, coriander or parsley, some lime juice, some water, some hemp seeds in there, I mean, that's really a great amount of, first of all, I'm getting a lot of sugar, good sugar from fruit, which is going to help fuel my workout, okay? So that's not an issue for me. If it's an issue for you, Ignacio, I would recommend adding a little bit more substance. You could look at some almond butters, some cashew butter, organic peanut butter if you want to, just to add a little bit more substance to your smoothies. Looking at things like coconut milk, coconut oil to add, again, a little more substance, some medium chain triglycerides, which are going to help you as a fuel source even during your workouts. So those are some really good options as well. And what else? What else? I mean, you also want to look at the rest of your diet. It's not just one green smoothie. So if you have a workout at, let's say, lunch, and you had a green smoothie for breakfast, the smoothie for breakfast is not really what's fueling your workout. Okay, it's kind of raising your blood sugar a little bit. So your body's going to tap into the blood sugar first, which is fine, and then it's going to tap into your muscle glycogen. So it really depends on what you had the day before that, and how much glycogen you have in your muscles. If the day before you didn't have much food and you don't have many stored carbohydrates, which is what glycogen is in your muscles, you're not going to have much fuel for the workout the following day. So I used to talk a lot about this with the soccer players I trained at the University of Toronto. We'd have games, like kickoff would be at 1 p.m. or 3 p.m. So 1 p.m. game, the guys are there at 11 in the morning at the stadium, and the breakfast that morning is really not that important. Okay, so you're not going to you don't want a huge breakfast a couple hours before your game. What you do want is the day before to really be increasing your intake of carbohydrates. Now, in a good sense, not pastas and breads, but you know, good carbohydrates, quinoa, sweet potato, stuff like that, right? The morning of, a green smoothie would be fine, right? It's just something that's rather nutritious, that provides some basic elements, some simple sugars, some carbohydrates in terms of fruit, some good healthy fats and protein, just to raise your blood sugar a little bit and just to kind of satiate you a tiny bit. You don't want to get to the point where you're starving, but you also don't want to get to the point where you're bloated and feeling very lethargic during a game or during a workout. Now, you mentioned feeling lightheaded. Again, that could be a couple different things. It could be not having enough calories. It could be too intense of a workout. It could be depending on the time of day you work out. Okay, if I work out early in the morning and I really push myself hard, I don't feel that good. I can push myself really, really hard at night, no problem. So you really have to kind of identify what time of day is best for you to work out. And also, you know, this terrible itching across your body, there could be a food sensitivity there. If there's something in the smoothie that is causing some kind of irritation, you may want to identify that and remove it. So what you can do is just alternate what you're taking out of the smoothie So looking at one element at a time. So let's say you've got 6 ingredients in your smoothie. One time, take one of those elements out, make your smoothie, drink it. How do you feel? The next time you make the smoothie, put that element back in, take another one out, and see how you feel. Okay, so you want to identify what is the problem, what is causing that itchiness, and identify that food, and then remove it from your diet, at least temporarily, until your body and immune system can adapt properly. So, and then going back to, I don't know if you really asked this, but ectomorphs and caloric intake. As an ectomorph, again, it's very tough to put on a lot of weight. It really becomes a full-time job in terms of training and eating. So, and especially if you're doing green smoothies and eating a lot of healthy plant-based foods, you're gonna need to eat a lot of food. So I'm gonna forewarn you up front, it's not a lot of fun. You might as well quit your job and just sit in the kitchen and eat all day, because that's essentially what it's gonna take, in addition to spending quite a bit of time in the gym training properly. So hopefully that's answered your question, Ignacio. Thank you very much for asking it, and for anyone else wondering the same stuff, hopefully that's brought some clarity to you as well. And that's all from me today. Don't forget to join me on the blog at urielkaim.com. You can get 3 free gifts over there, so you can go to urielkaim.com, which I just mentioned. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe to these videos, okay? I'm posting this stuff every single day. All of your questions, I'm doing my very best to get this information out on a daily basis to give you the answers that you're probably wondering about with respect to your health, fitness, and nutrition questions. So there should be a subscription button somewhere on this video. Be sure to subscribe to the videos on YouTube so you don't miss a single one, and I guarantee you will get more value out of these free videos than you could possibly imagine. So anyways, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.